I had to deal with the broken spoke. I was gonna ride the Diamondback, but I feel like pumping the tires. Lulled. I had to take out the pressure of both when I put it in my mom's car on Sunday night. One more block, or half block, I think. Yeah, half a block, if that. Okay. Right here. Ooh. Timmy could take the cruiser frame, but I already have one. I don't know. Might as well. Ended up putting a bunch of the what's it called? Tires back because a bunch of them had water in them for whatever reason. So I just dealt with that. A couple had water that I put in the car, but it seemed like they were okay, and they just had they were over the wheel enough and they were sealed. But I did have one that I ended up, one of the ones I put them back because I was putting some behind the driver's seat and one of them leaked, and that's how I figured out that situation. Alright. So it took me around 19 minutes because I wasn't putting any effort. Well, 19 minutes is when I looked when I jumped back on. So maybe 17, 18 minutes. There was 19 something when I looked down right before as I started pedaling. Got a bunch of stuff to list. Just gonna let them know when I get home that I dropped it off. Ended up with, probably heard me talking to myself, one pair of riser bars more besides this frame. Hopefully I don't get harassed. I lucked out on Sunday. And maybe because how dark it was, but didn't have any cops bother me. I had it happen once. I thought I stole my own bike. It did look suspicious, I understand. So I bought the cart bike that I needed to sell. I rode it after taking the bus and BART to the guy's house I bought it from. But since it has a cart in front, I just threw my bike inside of it. So they tried to get me, but then I stuck to my story and told them I just bought this and it's my own bike. And they're like, alright, fine. It took like 15-20 minutes of me saying the same thing because they're trying to see if I'd squirm and then change my story. But I had no story to change. I just bought a bike and had my bike in the front because there was enough space to do so. Otherwise, I would have just walked, but it was a little bit quicker once I got off BART. It only took like 10 to 15 minutes from the BART station because he lived at that time near Albany BART, right on the border of Oakland and Berkeley. So I just rode the bus to El Cerrito, then hopped on BART, and then rode the rest of the way home for obvious reasons. Too big to fit it on BART. I forgot this morning because I was kind of out of it, even though I'd been up for like 4 or 5 hours, that I left all the stuff I grabbed last night from his house. I just put it in the backyard in a pile outside the back door to the right. So then when I went out there this morning to take pictures of the bike I got on Sunday morning, because this dude wanted some bottom bracket pictures after I sent him all the ones that were in the listing, plus all the extra ones I had. So I went outside to take pictures, and I was like, what's this? And then I look over and I'm like, oh, right. The stuff I got last night. I need to reorganize the back room. It's just a mountain of boxes underneath bikes, on top of more bikes. From the last time I started cleaning and upholting it, I had 2 offers on the bike. I'm selling one this morning for $450, just the frame set, no wheels, everything else, then complete for $500 last night. But the recently sold for the same company, same color, but I don't know if it's the same frame because all the decals on the one I have are pretty much too faded, except for like 1 or 2. The frame set for one with just the seat post frame, no bottom bracket, no cranks, plus it did have the fork. That sold for $1,400, and then a complete with the pads for the frame, and maybe the pad for the stem too. That sold for $2,500, and the current recently posted current unsold are like $500 just for a frame. That's it. So I set the auction for $1,000 because I didn't know what frame it was. The decals are weather damaged, and there's a lot of rust, especially the chain.